We're about news, commentary, conversations, truth, liberty, and God. We stand for American values and our flag. We believe that the Constitution is a document that fortifies rights already given to us by our Creator. We will not apologize for our love of God and country, ever. We are Right America Media.
It's the Elsa Kirk Show with Clay Novak. Serving up trending news and conservative views. Brought to you by the Elsa Kirk Collection and Refuge Medical. And now, it's time for the show.
Oh my goodness. How are you, Clay?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm like in a weird spot. I need to scooch over a little. I'm scooching over, guys. Just humor me. I need to be centered. I should have done that before, but I wasn't paying attention. What else is new? So how are you? Are you ready for Thanksgiving?
I am getting there. Yes, this is the season of kids coming home from college and, family get-togethers and all of those things. And so as a reminder, folks, Elsa and I will not have a show next week. We enjoy Thanksgiving and being around our families and celebrating as much as everyone else. And let's be honest, you're not tuning in on Thursday night. There's no way. So there will be no show next week. But I am looking forward to Thanksgiving. How about you?
So looking forward to it. So we fly out on Monday. And we will be in Florida with those babies. I can't wait for Thanksgiving. So I'm so excited. I'm like practically jumping out of my skin. We FaceTime every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, which is pure heaven for me. And I just want to climb through that phone. I can't even take it. I'm losing my mind. So yes, I'm very excited. I don't care. We could have like McDonald's that day and I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, it's perfect. I love it. So yes, I hope everybody is excited and looking forward to Thanksgiving and their family time, or whatever that means for you. I hope it's going to be wonderful for you all. So speaking of wonderful, we've got a great show for everybody. Clay, the king of topics, pulled up some really good stuff. By the way, great job on having topics that just segue so perfectly. They just kind of like a rolling tide, just roll right into each other. So a lot of big stuff to talk about. A lot of big stuff.
Yeah, and listen, folks, it is Wednesday. It is 4:30 Eastern time, our normal recording time. So I know there are things that have happened in the last probably 24 hours, 12 hours, or probably will happen tomorrow. But we can't cover it all, so we're going with what we got.
Yes, and we got some good ones. Here they are. Here's what's coming up.
Tonight, Marjorie Taylor Greene goes from MAGA Marge to CNN's newest sycophant. Jeffrey Epstein shows up texting a House Democrat during the Cohen hearing, and Congress votes to release the Epstein files at last. We dig into the Trump assassination attempt and the mystery of the missing digital footprint. Ask whether Chuck Schumer was willing to wreck your Thanksgiving to win a shutdown fight, and finish with Michelle Obama blaming white people for black women's bad hair days. Elsa Kurt and Clay Novak are your hosts, and this is your dose of bold truth. Let's talk about
it. So I left it in there because it just made me laugh. AI, there's some good things about it. That's an AI voice that does our little promos for us like that. And it could not get MAGA. It could not
MAGA.
MAGA. It's going to be from now on. We're like MAGA. It's like I feel like a parrot shouting MAGA. So I left it in because it made me laugh. But just so you guys know, I tried relentlessly for a solid 2 minutes to get it to say, like, I'm spelling it all different kinds of ways to get it to be able to pronounce it. It was not getting it, and I don't know. Maybe it's a leftist run thing, and they purposely. I don't know.
And listen, folks, you're looking at the stars, the production team, the distribution point. Like Elsa does all of this stuff. So don't hate on her on the AI thing. If any of you are willing to be our announcer voice for free, feel free to hit us in the comments section.
Exactly. There's the catch, fellas and ladies, whoever. I don't know. So I guess that was a little sexist of me. I do like for that. I like the male voice better for that. It's, I don't know, whatever. I like it. Sounds good. So yeah, if anybody wants to do it for free, I mean, please do. Because by the way, I don't know if you all know this or not, but we don't get paid to do this. This is our own. This is our beloved, pet project. I guess we could call it. I don't know. It brings us joy.
For over 2 years.
Yes.
Over 2 years.
Exactly. That's how much we love doing this. So yeah. So that. Because I think everybody thinks that like we make like, so much money doing this. You're paid to do it.
Nope.
I wish, man. I wish. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Not a penny, not a dime.
No, and the thing of it, and we'll get into the topics, I promise, guys. But the thing of this all is, and people have asked, like, well, don't you want to like work for, I don't know, like a day buyer? Once upon a time where I thought I did want that. But the reality is the minute you work for somebody, they kind of own your content. They tell you what you're going to talk about. They tell you what you're going to say. I mean, you get some say, but not as much as we do here. We can say whatever the heck we want, whenever we want, however we want. It does,
Right.
So I like that. I like control, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. This is one of the best parts of my week every week, and I enjoy it. And
Same.
yeah, I don't mind doing it for free.
Ditto. Same. I mean, we're not going to turn down money within, I mean, listen, the right offer comes along. We will take it.
We will syndicate this in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat, under the right conditions, with the right everything. If those stars align, we're not shutting it down. But anyhow, we got big topics. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's like all over the news right now, all over everything, including especially the mainstream media, the left run world there. She is on her like apology tour, I guess we're calling it, right?
Yeah, so she's as folks I assume all recognize her by now, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's Republican from Georgia's 14th district, I guess. She's been in Congress since 2020. So she got elected in 2020, reelected in 22, reelected 24, right? She's running up again in 26. Right. And she's run into this spat with the president, specifically over the release of the Epstein files. But she has gone, she's made claims against him that he is turning his back on the MAGA movement and he's turning his back on his dedicated followers, including her. She's almost, I hate to say this, but it seems like she's claiming ownership or responsibility over the MAGA movement. But I didn't realize until I started doing more research on her is really how fringy she is. Like, did you realize? I knew she was a little off kilter, but I didn't realize how fringy she was.
Yeah. So my thought was that she had like kind of toned it down over the years, because that was the big thing about her in those early years. Why so much hate and mockery was kind of poured on her, the QAnon stuff, all her conspiracies, and a lot of stuff that she was very, 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 love it, hate it, whatever. She was very bold in her beliefs and statements. And I actually got to interview her, I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 years ago at an event. And I, saw her speak first. She spoke to the crowd. And what she didn't get credit for was she was actually an extremely good speaker, very motivational, very, there was no script in front of her, no nothing. And she was a very dynamic speaker, very to the point of what she was saying. I was actually very impressed with her. Going into it, I didn't have much of an opinion because there was so much being about her. And then I got to interview. It was a very short interview, maybe 10 minutes or so. And she was delightful. She was very personable. I liked her. I walked away, liking her. Maybe not liking everything that she said or how she said it, but nor are you supposed to, nor is it normal to like everything that somebody does and says 100% of the time. Now we fast forward to now, and she was. The thing of it was, she was basically. I know you were saying that she kind of is taking credit, so I will give her some credit and say she was like a MAGA hype woman.
Yeah.
I mean, no question about it. She gets. She certainly gets some credit for it. I don't know if she was like the whole deal, the most responsible. But anyhow, she's been going on CNN and The View. And here's the bone of contention, really, with this now. Basically apologizing for being a part of toxic politics. And I had to think about this for a while, Clay, because, you know, when I looked at what she was saying, the actual words that she was saying, it's like, yes, I like this. I agree with this sentiment that, you know, let's step away from being part of toxic politics.
Sure.
And, you know, all this, it's gross, it's disgusting, it's unbecoming. It's all of the things that we've become that are an embarrassment to us. So on its face, I can agree with her and say, this is a wonderful thing to say. Here are the problems. It's who she's saying it to, who she's kind of like bowing down to. So here she is on the view. And there's so much to talk about here, from what she's saying, who she's saying it to, her demeanor, everything. So let's watch this together.
I think that all of us right here are doing a great job of exchanging our ideas and things that we believe in, and we're doing it in a very professional and kind way. And in my opinion, I think we need more of that in America. I really do. And a lot of people wanted me to come on the show and say nasty things and you know, all of us to fight. They wanted all of us to fight.
Thank you for not doing that.
Oh my goodness, no. I didn't want to do that.
It's like 5-1.
She could handle it, but she didn't want to.
No, I didn't want to do that today because I believe that people with powerful voices like myself and like you, and especially women to women, we need to pave a new path. This country, our beautiful country, our red, white, and blue flag is just being ripped to shreds, and I think it takes women of maturity to sew it back together. And I think that happens through free speech.
Okay. First of all, so many things. The way that they were responding and reacting to her, so disrespectful, so condescending and rude. Joy, nasty, miserable Joy. I heard the contradiction there. Purposeful. It's 5 against 1. Isn't that what she said? It's 5 against 1. What's she going to do? You know, so here she is trying to make nice, and they're throwing these snide little comments, the expressions, like all of these things. This is, and her saying that, like, we're all being, you know, basically we're being nice to each other, and you know, you're powerful, strong women. No, you're not. You're mean, nasty, vicious, cackling hens, first of all, who spread lies deliberately, spread lies about her, bashed her all over the place. And now she's coming on there and essentially, pardon my language, kissing their asses, which is gross. This isn't people with opposing views coming together mutually to move forward, to like work a way forward that everybody can be peaceable. This is her going on the please forgive me, I want to be your friend tour right now. And they are like, okay, kiss the ring. Go ahead, kiss the ring, and we'll forgive you. That's the truth of what the optics of that. Do you agree or disagree?
No, she's campaigning is what she's, and what she's trying to do, because President Trump has pulled his endorsement of her, which is you know, a death blow within the party at this point. Having his endorsement doesn't guarantee you're going to win your election against a Democrat as a Republican. But not having his endorsement as a Republican guarantees that you will lose. And so what she is trying to do is make up ground, and she's trying to appease, buy votes, get votes from, truthfully, a liberal crowd that would not have voted for her, supported her until this very moment.
Right.
It has been so. I mean, she is a MAGA hat wearing, you know, in Congress kind of person. But now she is on the outs. She's in the cold. So she's got to find those. Without President Trump's endorsement, she is going to lose votes. And if she wants to stay in office, she's going to have to find votes elsewhere. So she's making nice with the enemy. That's what I mean, for lack of a better term, that's what she's doing. So she kissing their ass? Of course she is. Allowing them to be that condescending, nitpicky, you know, cackling hen? Of course she is. You know, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, especially during the election a year ago, she would have been on that show and she would have been slinging with them at every opportunity. But now that she's on the outs, she's running to not just The View, but also CNN and playing this whole, like, you know, I don't support President Trump in this, or I disagree with President Trump in this. And she's because she's been cut away, now she's distancing herself on purpose because she knows she can't win inside the red party without his endorsement. So she's got to go dip into the blue to see if she can retain her seat in Congress, which she's not going to do. I can promise you that she is going to be out of office at the end of this term without his endorsement. And instead of, she's kissing the wrong ass. I hate to say it.
Is she ever?
But if you wear red and you've got an R behind your name and you want to stay in office, there's one ass to kiss. Let me tell you something.
That's right.
And it certainly isn't those 5 ladies. It's not CNN. It's not MSNBC and all these other outlets that she's courting, or even the voters within her district. Right. She has got to be on the side of President Trump if she wants a shot in hell. And she just blew it. She
she blew it so bad. I'm flabbergasted that, I mean, who is in her corner speaking to her saying, do this, don't do that, don't do this, do that. I mean, clearly no one is guiding her in any direction. She just is going off the rails and making absolutely stupid decisions, because anyone who was on her side, that is MAGA, is now saying, and I'm sure she's got some support, I'm sure. Yeah. But overall, it's not going to be nearly enough to right this ship for her, because this is when you have, let's put it this way, when you have Jasmine Crockett saying, let's see, do I have this? I do have it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When you have Jasmine Crockett saying this, and for anybody who's listening, Jasmine Crockett tweeted on X, she said, "This almost feels like a moment where Marge should phone a friend. I'm here for you, girl. I told you not to trust him. All he cares about is himself and protecting pedos. He never loved you. My granny always said, be with the man that loves you more than you love him. Trust me, sis, you are better off without him. The Gwolls are fighting." I can't even believe it. I said that stupid word. I don't know what that is either, and I don't even want to know. I don't care. But if that is who is now tweeting support for you, by the way, that's the same Jasmine Crockett that called Marjorie Taylor Greene, let's see if I can get this right, a bleach blonde butch built body. Something else, but that's the gist of how she referred to her. And that was, of course, after and Marjorie Taylor Greene made fun of her eyelashes, her spider on her eyes. If that's who you have now just gained the support from, you have a much bigger problem than you could even realize. So and you tell me if you heard this. Now I heard that this is just a rumor that I know of. Suppose Trump to her or spoke to her about her numbers privately, basically said, like, look, you don't have the support, so don't do this. And she wanted to run anyway, wanted to keep going forward with this anyway. And so he had no choice. So supposedly the rumor was that he tried to tell her quietly, like, it's not a good move for you. And she didn't want to hear it. And that's why she's all mad. And now she's like running with it. And now she made him mad.
Well, I mean, I hadn't heard that rumor. It makes a lot of sense.
Right.
And President Trump is, if he knows that her numbers are bad, that guy's never going to back a known loser. Like that's
right.
So, and I think as tight as things are on the voting lines in Congress, one or two people matter. So, she's taken this. She's probably going to take the next year plus, a little over a year, as a lame duck opportunity to be very effective, which does not bode well. I hate to say it, for the Republican Party. She's going to be the fly in the ointment. And I think she probably thought because of that, she had some bargaining power with the president to say, no, I'm going to do this and you need me. You're going to endorse me. You're going to help me. You're going to keep me in office because I'm in office now and you need me to accomplish things over the next year. And if you don't help me, then I'm going to be a pain in the ass. And so I think that's the direction she's taking.
Yeah.
I mean, she's always been a bit of a pain. I mean, her and Lauren Boebert had it out, whatever it was 2 years ago. And again, she's always been throw the chart up and, and all those things. She's always been mildly disruptive. People called her feisty or whatever. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder at this point. If she's on your team, she's feisty. If she's not on your team, she's disruptive. But I think she missed the mark on this one. I think that she really believes that she had or has the president in a corner and that he had no choice but to endorse her. And the reality is that he's not going to do it. He's not going to back a loser. He never has.
Nope, he never has. Yeah. And again, her actual words, because I'm sure, and I don't know this, I haven't seen it yet. Her actual words, here's the irony, are good. In essence, right? Like let's stop with the toxic politics. Let's come together. Let's do the things. But she, of all people, should know that the people that she's up against, are not the people who are willing to compromise and make good. This is not and how can you not know this? So I think your assessment is spot on, because that's the only thing that would make sense, that she's, trying to rebrand, trying to appeal to, a different crowd now. And, hey, good luck to you, Marge. Yeah. Good luck. You're going to need it.
Marge. Yeah.
Marge.
Yeah. She's, she is rapidly going to become a sideshow in Congress, and she's going to find herself completely out of office. It's not, if she survives the 26 election, it'll be shocking. It'll be her and Fetterman passing in the hallway as the two people on the, abandoned or orphaned, by their own party. And really offsetting each other. Maybe they'll join together and run as independents for something at some point, I mean, that might be their only, not that it's going to give them much of a chance of anything, but at least it'll make them feel good, I guess. I don't know. But listen, that is far from the weirdest thing happening in Congress right now.
Oh my word. What the heck, bro? Just channeled my inner 12-year-old boy, I guess. I don't even know what the heck that was. Go ahead.
So we've got, obviously we're going to talk Epstein in a couple of segments here, but this one is extremely interesting because what has been revealed as these pieces and parts of the file are being released is that Stacey Plaskett, whatever it is, who is a non-voting member of Congress. So she is a Democrat. She's from the U.S. Virgin Islands, which means she sits in there. She represents the Virgin Islands. She doesn't get to vote. Keep in mind, Epstein Island was part of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Also keep in mind, Epstein helped her get into office. But while there was in 2019, while there was a trial going on, a hearing, not a trial, but a hearing in Congress, that had Epstein on it, his name was all over it, and he was in jail. Stacey Plaskett, Democrat, U.S. Virgin Islands, was texting him.
Yeah.
First of all, am I the only person who found it appalling that he had a cell phone to be text messaging with in jail?
Seriously. Yeah. We can take a pause and put a pin in that, right?
Listen, this isn't a white collar crime guy. This isn't a guy who was, like embezzling money or, stealing identities. This guy was a pedophile, human trafficker, like historically horrific crimes.
Yes.
Yet still had a cell phone. Okay.
Everybody just process that for a moment, because just yet another indicator of how much power this guy was wielding over all of these other people. No wonder this is all taken so long. But so yes, texting with him, even saying, quick, I'm up next. For him to hurry up and tell her what to say.
This wasn't like the night before she's doing her prep or the weeks before she's prepping for this thing. This is as the trial. They have the digital footprint of this, folks, and the timing. So they know the timing of this verified during this hearing. She said exactly what you said, Elsa. Hurry, I'm up next. I need to know who Rona is. Is that an acronym? Because it was RONA, all capital letters. And he's like, oh no, that's Trump's personal assistant. She's in an office right across the hall from him. If anybody knows about any of this stuff, it's her. She knows everything that's going on. So he's filling her in on details. And then you can watch the timing. I don't know if you saw this, but somebody laid out the timing of the text messages against the timing of the hearing. And so as it approaches, right, he answers that question on who Rona was. And then she asks a question that says, so-and-so and so-and-so and Rona, and who's Rona? Who's Rona? And, the person on the stand was, what's his name? Trump's old lawyer that went to jail. God, I can see his face. The disgusting human being. Anyway. And he said, oh yeah, that's President Trump's personal assistant, blah, 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 blah. And then she messaged back to Epstein, and he even told her, "Good job," as the trial was going on.
Insane. Like, are you kidding me right now?
Folks, this is after he's been convicted. This was not in prison waiting for trial.
Yeah.
He is Epstein that the world knows.
Yes.
He's that guy. She is texting him while in jail, while he's in jail during a trial to get advice, encouragement, and guidance from him.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the left is hearing this, right? Mainstream media, the left is hearing this. And, they're like, oh, let's see. Televised hearing aimed at taking down Trump. Epstein is feeding, lines to them there right while this is all going on. Nothing to see here. Let's move on.
So her law professor is in Congress right now. Raskin, Democrat.
Oh,
Maryland.
right. Yes.
So folks, they put forth an effort to censure her from Congress, which truthfully, in her capacity as representing the Virgin Islands and not being able to vote on anything, was really kind of a gesture of like, hey, you're a horrible human being. You need to go away, which didn't pass, by the way, which is just as disturbing as the rest of this stuff. But in that censure hearing, her former law school professor, Raskin, Democrat, got up there and defended her and literally justified what she was doing by saying she was just speaking with one of her constituents. That's all she was doing. What's wrong with that? He was just a constituent from her district. We're allowed to do that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. This is justification. This is a congressperson, an elected official, justifying this by saying that, as if we're all a bunch of idiots.
Yep. These are truly the worst people on the planet. These are horrible, horrible human beings. They are beyond the pale disgusting. And if you think I'm exaggerating, let's remind you again what Epstein was in prison and convicted of and for. Like, do we forget what that is? So, yeah, when I say that I think they are some of the most vile human beings on the planet, I absolutely mean it 100%. That is just disgusting. And, and as with so many times when we're talking about this in particular, this case in particular, and anything like it, it's just so, I'm angered to exhaustion. like I've gotten so angry and horrified and disgusted by this all that I'm like emotionally exhausted from it. And I think we all are. I think I speak for so many people when I say that. And we just shouldn't allow ourselves to get exhausted by it, because then you start getting apathetic towards it. And I think we're also largely at that point, because again, like, what's going to happen? Is anything happening? I mean, well, I guess I can move us right into that, right? I mean,
before we go too far,
go ahead.
As these bits and pieces are coming out, right? So we've seen these text messages. There's been a little bit more while he was in jail, Epstein correspondence that has come to the surface. There's been correspondence released between him and Hakeem Jeffries. Oh, by the way, as he was looking for money, right?
Yeah.
Donations and all of that. But also a Harvard, I think he was the former president of Harvard, continued to seek advice from Epstein. Get this, on how to approach, converse, and have a relationship with a young woman he was mentoring.
Seriously, I did not know this. This is new to me.
So this guy has now apologized and has said he is going to back away from public life. I think he was a former president of Harvard. He was at Harvard. He was a bigwig. But yeah, like knowing, like, this is, people knew who he was. That's proof positive, right?
Yes.
People knew that he was a disgusting human being. They knew what he was doing. Right. This guy was actually soliciting advice on how to do the things that Epstein does from Epstein while he's in jail.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And again,
please tell me they're not disgusting, horrible, repugnant human beings.
Embrace yourself, folks, because again, next topic, we're about to hear, see, know, find out all kinds of things about all kinds of people.
Yes. Yep. yes, we are about to get what we asked for, basically. I mean, and you know, when we first were talking about this, you and I did talk about exactly that, kind of bracing for what's in there, because a lot of people, I don't think we will be, maybe we'll be, but I think a lot of people are going to be, they will be shooketh to their core.
Yeah.
Right? Because there are going to be names and people that you may have held in some esteem to some degree, and so many houses of cards are going to be coming down, and you know, I hope that's what's going to happen, and I hope that's what's going to, even if it's somebody that I like and admire from afar. If you are any part of this, I want to see you go down. I want to see you fall. I want to see every one of them fall from grace and lose everything. And, you know, because again, the thing that gets overlooked so often is the actual victims of all of this, who are living with this as a daily part of their existence. And they are forever changed and not for the good because of this. One woman is dead, you know. It's just absolutely horrific to me.
Yeah. So Congress voted yesterday, again, recording on Wednesday. They voted yesterday to do full release of all of the Epstein documents. That passed. I think there was one person who voted.
Yeah. It was 427-1.
Yeah.
And was it a Republican?
I don't remember who it was.
Higgins? Yeah.
Yeah. To me, and I'm not making excuses, folks.
Yeah.
There should have been, that should have been a clean sweep.
Should have been.
No excuse. I think that may have been a procedural, I disagree with this, because one of the things that's not being redacted, my understanding, are the names of the victims. So as this comes out very clean, this is why this has been so back and forth, and is, you know, because one of the hangups administratively was protecting the victims in this.
Rightly so.
And they're, you know, should we protect them? How much should we protect them? That kind of thing. But, you know, we've all gotten to the point where we're just like, you know, hey, release the files. And so I think maybe, and I'm not making an excuse, but I think maybe that one person, it was a procedural. It's not that they disagreed necessarily with releasing the files to protect anybody or anything. I think it may have been hey, administratively, I think there's something wrong with this. Regardless, it passed overwhelmingly, 1 no, and it is on the president's desk. The question that we're all asking is, is he gone? Is he on a plane somewhere?
Right.
We're certainly we're not going to Biden auto pen this thing.
No, no auto pen.
He's going to sign it, but the question is, why? Is he not in the office today? Which may be the reason. I don't know.
Could be.
But
yeah,
I mean, he's a busy guy. The guy doesn't sit around.
No, he definitely does not.
But
it would have been nice if they could have, just airdropped it to him or something. You know,
I don't think we trust that one to the cloud. Just saying.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I think, I think there's going to be some, maybe they're bombshells, maybe they're not. I think some of these are known to people, or at least anticipated. I think there's some anticipation that we're going to find out that one of the reasons that Epstein was so protected is because he was an intelligence asset. And I think, DOJ and some other folks are going to have to probably bring CIA in, and some of this stuff's going to have to be declassified. I think that's part of it. It would not surprise me if, and listen, folks, we're not saying that Epstein was a CIA agent, but if you think about it, if there was a person who could collect and have dirt on hundreds of people, powerful people around the world, that could be used for intelligence gathering reasons, he's the guy. So, it doesn't make the CIA complicit in this. I think they should have stepped in if they knew anything about it, regardless. But I think we're going to find out that he was an intelligence asset, or at least in contact with the CIA. I think we're also going to find out, and this is on the low end of the rumor scale, but I've heard this a couple of places, is that the FBI whistleblower is none other than President Trump himself.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that easily. Well, they've got, and I don't have it, guys. There's video from him of in 2015. Yep. Specifically calling out Epstein Island and saying something about Prince Andrew
Yep.
Who's been stripped of all his titles and
I
everything.
think they just call him Andy now.
Yeah, Andy. Yeah, Andy. Yeah, good old Andy. He said, ask Andrew
Yeah.
about it. He can tell you. And, you know, he had a little smirk on his face. You're like, go ahead, ask him. He's got some stories for you if you want to hear them. And that got kind of like breezed over back then. He was talking about it long before anybody else was. So, you know, he's the one that kind of put some eyes on it, really. Like, what's this Epstein Island? What is that all about?
So I think that has the potential to be in there, that he is the person who really blew the lid off this thing, which I think would be like, I think that's one of the reasons, if that's true, and I actually think it is true, that is probably the primary reason why these documents sat for 4 years under the Biden administration, because they did not want to give Trump any hero status of any kind ever at all.
Right.
So don't be surprised, folks, if something like that is in there. Maybe not that specific, although I think that's what it is. Between that and then, again, the CIA being somewhat complicit in what was going on, if they were using him as an intelligence asset and knowing what was going on. But also there's some things in there I know, and you know, that when all these names are released, there's going to be some pretty powerful people that were being protected.
Yes.
And I can't wait. I really can't. Even if that, have you seen, there's a couple of like, you know, they're fakes that are out there in social media. There's like this, you know, page with like 3 or 4 columns of names.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I've alphabetized by the first name, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like, if half of that, if a third of that is true, like, it's going to be earth shattering for a lot of people. So, and we're going to see politicians, we're going to see athletes, we're going to see businessmen, we're going to see, entertainment, you know, music, actors. There's going to be smatterings of all kinds of people on there. And I can't wait.
Burn them to the ground. Burn it to the ground. Please start fresh, scorched earth on this. Please just
burn it all.
Yeah. And I don't know. I actually kind of want to pray on this, that Trump is the one. That would bring me so much joy. I can't even begin to tell you how much joy. Just to throw it right at him, like, everything we thought. You know, I mean, the biggest tell here is like, if they really had all of this stuff on Trump, because they're still trying to, you know, like, Trump's on it, Trump. You mean to tell me, you know, they did everything that they could possibly think of to destroy Trump and any chance at the presidency for him this time around. I mean, last time too, but if they had stuff on him and they were sitting on it, of course they would have released it if they had it. That is the simplest fact of all. If they had it, it would have been released a long time ago. So, you know.
Listen, folks, you don't fabricate something like Russia collusion if you have something that is concrete evidence of a real crime.
Yeah, exactly. Especially something that is so incredibly vile.
Yeah.
So give it up, guys. Give it up. Since we are still on the Trump train talking about our buddy there, let's keep going. This one, Clay. Oh my word. You go ahead.
Yeah, so Thomas Crooks is who we're talking about. This is the Butler, PA shooter, the kid who's dead. So one of the things that has not been publicly released in the year plus since the assassination attempt is his digital footprint. And for a while there, we were even being told that he didn't have one, which we all know is crazy. There's nobody, you know, I'm pretty sure the Dalai Lama's got a digital footprint at this point.
He totally does. Yeah.
So, but there was this, you know, the kid doesn't have anything. We don't know anything. We can't, you know, and the FBI, of course, has had it all along. A lot of it was being protected, hidden, partially because of an investigation, but also partially because it was in the hands of the Biden administration for a while. But what we're finding out about this kid is that for a long time, he was a Trump supporter as a teenager, like not even old enough to vote yet, I don't think. Big, you know, conservative, really to a point of being violent. Some of the statements that he made, I don't know if you have seen any of these, but it's like, you know, we should be like these anti-MAGA, you know, people should get shot in the head with an AR-15 and like all this crazy, you know, super violent tendency. And then all of a sudden in 2020, there was a switch. And he went from loving President Trump to hating President Trump. And they found a correlation with a Norwegian YouTube account that the guy or the individual, they can tell. I don't think they know who that person is, but they do have enough digital signature to find out that this person was associated with essentially a Norwegian version of Antifa. So a left-wing nut job. And so they're finding that Crooks was talking to this individual through YouTube, and that's about the time that he turned from being a violent supporter of President Trump to a violent opposer of President Trump. And then you can imagine the waterfall effect that led to Butler, PA. But what they're also finding out is, go figure, with a kid who's as mentally unstable as this young man was, he also had, weird sexual tendencies on top of everything else. Yes. Again, go figure. Yeah. And I'm not going to get too deep into that because it's gross and it's uncomfortable and nobody. You just need to know he was into some weird stuff, people. Yeah. If you really want to go and look it up, you can look it up. But he was into some weird stuff. But now all of a sudden we've got this digital footprint, and where does that sit with you? Like, this has been over, how many months has it been now?
Right. Yeah. I don't even know what it is, but yeah, something like that. Yeah. Obviously everything, I think we're all kind of thinking somewhere along the same lines that, one being, how come we're just finally hearing something about this? We have, everyone else, close to everyone else, within minutes, we have these people's life stories. We know everything about them, information. And granted, yes, a lot of times a lot of false information comes out first and all of those things. But nonetheless, you find everything very, very quickly. So one would be, why was this scrubbed, or was this all scrubbed or suppressed, unlike anyone else? The shift, like, who is this person that got a hold of this kid? And yes, you already have somebody who's clearly got some mental illness going on. This is something that you hear all the time about the CIA using people. You hear these, but they're not even rumors. It's true. Like, this is a documented thing. This is true. CIA will use people like this to, they'll mess with them basically and get them to do things. So, is this a case of that? Who is hiding all of this? Who is this kid? Who is all of the things? There's so many questions here. And still, this is a little bit of potential insight, but there's still way too many questions for something that should have been long resolved and handled already at this point. You've got Tucker Carlson, of course, and others on the right are saying that the FBI lied or at least misled the public about his digital footprint and possible ideological leanings. And by the way, you mentioned it was like 2020, so we're talking around COVID time. So now you've got isolation. You've got
great point. That's a
right.
Point.
You've got you've got all of these factors so you have somebody who is already experiencing psychological, emotional distress. Now you're isolating them, and now there's somebody online that has this continuous access to this mentally unstable person, and they make this complete dramatic flip of where their attention and hatred is getting focused on. A lot of questions here, and I still don't really know if we're ever going to get the actual answers.
Yeah, it's 2025. We're still not sure about Kennedy in 63.
Yeah. So the reality is maybe in 50 years or so we'll find out.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I won't be alive for it.
This is I have a lot of I personally have a lot of understanding and tolerance for we're not going to disrupt an ongoing investigation.
Sure.
Okay. You understand that as a LEO wife, right? Mm-hmm. We all get that. Right. There are some people who don't, and okay, that's why FOIA exists, and that's why you've got people like Tucker Carlson who are upset with the FBI. And I think the hard part is that the FBI essentially said we have nothing, or at least allowed the public to assume or believe that they had nothing when they actually had something.
Yeah.
And
why wouldn't you just say that?
Exactly. I would prefer that they would come out and say, listen, we have information about Thomas Crooks. We have pieces of his digital footprint. We are continuing to investigate, and leave it at that. Right now, I'm sure somebody, along the way when it was under the hands of the Biden administration, yes, I'm sure there were things that were being covered up. No
Mhm.
question in my mind. However, when it transitioned over, Kash Patel took over, Dan Bongino, this could have been handled very differently
Yeah.
from the get-go. So now what we don't know is what's going on inside of the FBI, right? What's going on below Kash Patel. He's not personally investigating the assassination attempt of the president.
Right.
He's responsible for the people that are. So they may have had this stuff sitting on a desk or in a filing cabinet somewhere that they chose not to bring forward for whatever reason. I don't know. None of us know. But I think handled wrong, truthfully. This was mishandled, and I think you're right. I think we're, at 15, 16 months beyond the event itself. We will probably never know. And listen, for the American public, I'll speak for the American public. Nothing is more frustrating than not having the information and being allowed, or conspiracy theories being allowed to build, because that's what's happening.
Yeah. You're so right,
feeding,
Clay.
It's feeding the QAnon, it's feeding the conspiracy theorists, it's feeding all that crap, when just a little bit of information can keep that stuff at bay. And they choose not to do it.
Yeah, you're so right. That is the highest frustration here, that, just give something, a little bit. Like you said, it's an ongoing investigation. We can't release certain bits of information. We know lots of things about lots of stuff, but we can't talk about it because it's an ongoing. Like, just say that. Don't, I mean, we're already so steeped in everything being a lie. Like, nobody believes anything. Nobody believes anything that's coming out of anybody's mouth anymore, between AI, between, mistrust in the government, between the, political warfare against each other on both sides. Like, nobody believes anything. So try and dispel some of that by just putting the truth out there. And yes, there's always going to be the Tucker Carlsons and the Candace Owens of the world that are going to look for a conspiracy in the most non-conspiratorial things. Like, that's how they make their money. It's literally how they function. It's their job. It's what they do. But for the rest of us, like, we're so fatigued from all of it. Like, just tell us the freaking truth. Just give us something that we can believe, But I don't know. Oh my God, I'm so tired, Clay. I need our Thanksgiving break. People make me so angry as I laugh about it. Oh, what else we got? Let's see. Oh, let's talk about this guy here, Schumer.
About conspiracy.
Yeah, right? Yes. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm so, I'm still mad, but I'm so grateful that this is resolved for Thanksgiving travel. Because yes, guys, it's all about me and my travel. It is. But after the 40 plus days of the longest government shutdown in American history, the Senate finally blinked. Flights are melting down. I don't know what that means. I think I'm just reading that wrong. Families were sweating Thanksgiving travel. Yes, I was. And everyone in DC swore it was the other guy's fault. So did Chuck Schumer drag it out to hurt Trump in the holidays? I mean, I feel like it's a no-brainer. Yeah, duh.
Well, there's confirmation at this point, at least some tacit confirmation. So Schumer was, now it's coming out because he solicited help from not just Congress people, but also, which I don't necessarily understand how that influenced anything, but he was looking for help in trying to keep the shutdown going through Thanksgiving, purposely not paying federal employees, service members, air traffic controllers, federal law enforcement, all of that, purposely disrupting family holiday air travel specifically, purposely making the economy a challenge so that people wouldn't necessarily have enough money to celebrate a proper Thanksgiving as we traditionally do, right? And widespread across the country. So he was looking to make Thanksgiving miserable for everyone for political purposes only. And there is now evidence that this is true. We, like you said, no brainer. We all kind of suspected he is that brand of jerk and that brand of politician. But now there are people coming out after the vote happened to reopen the government that have said, I was not on board with what Schumer was doing. He asked me for help, or he asked for, my abstain from the vote, or to not, whatever, so that he could do X, Y, and Z, and they could blame it all on President Trump, and it would look bad for President Trump. So really, folks, I mean, if you didn't think Schumer was done before this crappy outcome of a 40-plus day shutdown, now that this is out and in the wind, he's definitely done.
Yeah, he's got to be. He's got to be. He has to be. If he's not, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I'll throw my laptop in the air at this point. Like, I mean, if this guy isn't done after this, when your own party is, throwing you under the bus saying, oh yeah, this guy, he was the one for sure. And of course they're all trying to save their own skin too.
Yeah. So do you think he resigns, or do you think that he gets voted out of his minority leadership role?
Voted, because he's too arrogant.
Okay.
He's way too arrogant to resign. He won't do it. He will dig his heel. They will have to yank him out of there by his scrawny, liver spotted ankles and just, drag him out of there. He doesn't want to lose that gravy train. He wants to run that.
AOC?
Probably. Yeah, I would imagine so. I would imagine.
Scary? Like, isn't that just hysteric? Like, so frightening, it's not even funny?
It's at this point, because it's all so surreal, like it's so impossible to believe that this is real life, that of course that's who it'll be. How could it not be her? And she's dumb enough, I think, because she's dumb enough to be manipulated by the people who are really pulling the strings there. So they'll, who's better than her? So even if they do yank Chucky Boy out of there, you probably will still be a little bit, at least to some degree, some bit of a puppet master in there, because he knows too much. This is all of these high power people, whether it's politics or celebrities for that matter, they all have so much dirt on each other. Like, this is the game that they play. It's all a game for them. Yeah. Anybody who thinks that any of them care about that this has anything to do with us, we're just pawns in their game. Like, I hate to be that guy, that pessimistic, we're a guy. The what is it from the Muppets? The guys up in the yeah, I'm like that guy right now, but like I'm so you get really jaded by this, because you can see what the game is, and the game is just that. It's a game for them. It's all about them. None of these people have walked out of office, without being 2, 3, even 4 times as wealthy as when they went in, and that's right. The numbers don't number. So yes. So if he's gone, it'll be because they vote him out, but he's not really going to be gone. So don't anybody do too big of a happy dance.
Yeah, I think he will still, as much as everybody's written Drunk Nancy off, she still does hold a lot of influence. She does, even out of her position. Schumer will be the same way. As long as he's in office, he'll still hold some influence, if not direct power. Yeah. I don't know if it's her. I think it is. But I think there's enough infighting inside the party, almost in the way that, like, we were worried about, the independent vote.
Right. Yeah.
New York, right? It's New York. We know Ross Perot. We talked about all these, every time there's an independent candidate, the RFK, that it was going to screw up the election. I think there's enough infighting inside of the Democrat Party that it'll be very much like the Chicago mayoral election or the Minneapolis mayoral election, where, there's enough people that are voting against her, and that somebody else will end up sneaking in there as opposed to her.
Well, I'm sure Jeffries wants in. He's making a lot of power plays.
There's a lot of people, that want in or appear to. I don't think it's her. I hope it probably will be. So, all right, let's talk about dumb women in politics.
Let's. Oh my goodness, this. I called. I said about Marjorie Taylor Greene that she was on the apology tour. Michelle Obama is on the "When It's All About Me" tour. When I've had it so hard, nobody's had it harder than me. And now, surprise, surprise, she's not for the first time railing against white people because we made her straighten her hair. I kid you not. Folks. If you did not see this already, let's just play this for you.
People, Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us can't swim and we run away from the water. People won't go to the gym because we're trying to keep our hair straight for y'all. It is exhausting and it's so expensive and it takes up so much time. Braids are for y'all so we can work harder and focus on the work. So why do we need an act, an act of law to tell white folks to get out of our hair? Don't tell me how to wear my hair. Don't wonder about it. Don't touch it. Just don't. It just.
Okay, so let me start by saying I have never, in all of my 54 years, given any thought to how another woman, a woman of another color or race or anything, has styled their hair. I've never once stopped somebody and said, hey, you, straighten your hair right now. And I've actually polled, very casually polled lots of people over the past day or two. I haven't. They're just in my comment section all saying, I literally never even thought about how Black women style or not style their hair. I don't care. So let's get that like really, really clear. Also, I could say that as a white/Hispanic woman, my hair is both curly and straight. It does whatever the heck it wants. So I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes I straighten it. Sometimes I curl it. Sometimes I let it just be who it wants to be. Apparently, does she need our permission to do that? Because I don't know. I mean, last time I checked, she was one of the most influential, powerful women in the nation. And she didn't use that opportunity to, if she wanted to wear her hair curly. I don't know. Did she ever? I have no idea. I can't even remember how she styled her hair. That's how little I have ever cared about that. So what an offensive, entitled, arrogant, whiny, miserable woman she is. She is horrible. And by the way, white women, white liberal women were pretty close to literally bowing down at her feet. So I'm pretty sure none of what she's saying holds any water whatsoever. So insulting. If I cared enough to be insulted, actually.
So this is the tip of the complaint iceberg from former First Lady Obama. She has been complaining about this, right? Which is absurd. Like you said, she's one of the most influential women, arguably in the world, while she was in the White House. Chose to bow down to social pressures, which shows she has no courage and no real self-confidence of any kind, intestinal fortitude. I mean, if she bowed down on how she did her hair, then I don't expect her to come through on anything of any substance.
Right.
Also, she has complained that her and her husband had to pay for things while they were in the White House. And for those of you that don't know, the kitchen in the White House, like their daily food that they are fed, they have to pay for because it's not free. The president is paid more than anybody else in the federal government, but that's for a reason. So they get a bill every month for the kitchen and they pay for it. She's complained about that. She has complained about how much time she had to spend in public as the first lady. She's complained about how much time she has had to spend in public since coming out of the White House. And yet she's sitting on stage being interviewed of her own choice about being the first lady, about and complaining about how much she hated being the first lady. Right. Okay. So I don't want to hear it. She's lost it. Somebody said it the other day. I posted on social media. They said she is the Meghan Markle of politics.
She sure is.
That, Meghan Markle, who has complained so much about how invasive their lives were in England, and that's why they came to the States and renounced their titles and all of these other things. Obama's doing this. Michelle's doing the same thing. Oh, I hated being the first lady. I like being on stage, right?
Yeah.
I like being on stage because, truthfully, if she wasn't the first lady, no one would be talking to her right now. Nobody. No one would know who she is. No one would care. She would be sitting. She'd be a lawyer in Chicago somewhere, right? And hating her life that way too.
Absolutely.
But
She was
this
designed
is,
to be miserable and
yeah,
ungrateful.
This is another person very much like her husband
Yep.
who just needs to shut up and go away.
Yes.
Truthfully, like
Yeah.
do what the other presidents and first ladies have done once they have left office.
Right.
Fade into the woodwork. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But you choose not to. So I don't want to hear any effing complaints out of your mouth.
Absolutely. I love the irony too that she is on a book tour right now for a book called Look or The Look or something like that. And it is a picture book of her. It's all pictures of her.
Yep.
So she's literally going around saying, "Oh, I'm so tired of everybody looking at me. Please stop. It's such a burden to be made.
Look at me.
Look at me. Look at me in my book. Look at this page. Look at this page. Look at this page. Stop looking." Yeah.
Terrible.
It's just, oh my God, what a jerk. What a jerk. Oh, Michelle Obama, you are a jerk. You're just a jerk. Go away. And I can promise you, no one will talk about your hair then either. So, and let me just point out one more thing in the beginning of that. The next part of that, in the next tour or stop she does, she's going to expand on that. You watch, or somebody will expand on that. The reason why they don't, did you catch that in the beginning? The reason why Black women don't swim or go to the gym is because of their hair. So now we're going to get blamed for obesity in Black women. That if we haven't, or I think we actually already have been blamed for that. Pretty sure we have, but she'll add to that. She'll expand on that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So,
and there's other complaints too. She's already said that America's not ready for a female president. And it's because of white men. She did say though that if there is going to, the first female president will be a conservative woman. She has said that. She's also said, "Don't look at me to run because America is not mature enough to elect a female president." Blah 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 blah. So all she's doing is complaining in public, and we're all tired of listening to her, and she just needs to go away.
Go away. Go away. Okay, so we're going to go away in about 2 seconds. We want to once again wish you guys all a very happy Thanksgiving, and we already can't wait to get back to you. And we're going to tell the news cycle to just stop. Just stop until we get back to it, right? Just pause everything until Clay and Elsa can get back to it. Clay, you close them out.
Hey folks, thanks as always for joining us and popping in and being part of this. We watch every week. We look. I love seeing how many people tune in. Like Facebook numbers are crazy, literally thousands of people watching, which is always awesome, and we love you guys. But enjoy your Thanksgiving from Elsa and I, and as always from me, keep moving, keep shooting.
Terry Davis wanted a quiet life, the Midwest, a rifle, a little peace. But trouble keeps finding him on every inch of American soil. From cornfields to the Capitol, the enemy hides in the shadows. And when the country needs one man to stand up, Terry does what he's always done. He keeps moving. He keeps shooting. The fight for America has a new battlefield. And he's already in it. The Terry Davis series available now.
From small-town love stories to battles of truth and loyalty, Elsa Kurt's books follow the same heartbeat. Ordinary people facing extraordinary moments. You'll find romance, drama, second chances, even a peek behind the microphone in her newest release. Multiple genres, different worlds, same thread. Bold truth, real faith, no apologies.
We're about news, commentary, conversations, truth, liberty, and God. We stand for American values and our flag. We believe that the Constitution is a document that fortifies rights already given to us by our Creator. We will not apologize for our love of God and country, ever. We are Right America Media.